Yo, yo,
Hey.
yo. What's going on, everybody? How y'all been? We're back. Getting into the last week of fantasy football on the NFL side. But we're doing the college show first, but how's everyone? Welcome back.
It's like, oh, we're going NFL?
Was good.
No, I just like saying that because it puts into perspective like how far you're into like the football season.
Yeah, we are deep.
We
Like
are,
that-
dude. When doing a show every week, like made me like we're deep into the season. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
but I'm fucking glad we are because we got football this year. So won't
Yeah,
complain.
definitely. And it's still like a decent amount of time left. Like 4 or 5 weeks left on both sides, including like the conference championship and
Yep.
But so like have you guys heard anything about like what's gonna happen for like are they only gonna do like the New Year's bowl games or like
Whatever bowl. So the bowl game makes the decision. So like the Sun Bowl just said that they're canceling, but yet like the Detroit Motor City Bowl is still playing. So it's like whatever the bowl that is hosting it, like the commissioner and of the bowl game, all that kind of stuff, they make the decision. And then
So it pretty much depends if they're in bed with any.
well, the Sun Bowl's in Texas and they canceled. So it's like it is probably
Where's it at? What city in Texas?
El Paso.
Hmm.
It is like location, no doubt. Like that definitely has a huge part in it. But I also like, I mean, there probably is some groups that are just like, dude, do we want to deal with this? We host kind of a shitty bowl, like.
But what I'm thinking is like no fans even show up anyway to these shits usually. Like, most of them.
Yeah, but putting it on and having all the COVID tests and all that bullshit, that's like, but
They'd be in charge of that COVID test.
yeah, I think they'd be in charge of everything. Getting I think they get the hotel for you, like all that stuff. So they have to figure out all the logistics. I mean, who knows? Right?
It's somehow probably isn't very profitable. That's what it probably comes down to.
I would say, especially this year. But I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily hate it though, because if the less bowls we get, the better bowl games we'll get, because we won't be getting like
shitty teams in there.
They can't cipher in like all the dog shit.
Yeah. So
but I love those bowl games though.
I do. I wish. Yeah, I get it. I do too, but it's also sometimes they suck to watch. But gambling wise and stuff like that, it's like
they're great.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you have so much data on both teams. Like you feel like you're making a confident pick in like every single one.
Yeah, for sure.
How about the Irish?
Yeah, they look dominant, and they're so good that their opponent.
That is just the dumbest.
Are we going to talk about that first or after the games?
We're talking about the playoffs before the games.
Okay, so
or the playoff rankings, but
yeah.
Specifically about the game, the Irish. Honestly, in my opinion, like the way it started, I was like, this is not good because you don't want to give North Carolina's offense confidence. You don't want to get 3 and out, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, their second half adjustments on defense were perfect. They made North Carolina just do stuff that they did not want to do. Like, I mean, it was North Carolina's Super Bowl. Notre Dame took their punch and fucking won by double digits.
Yeah, they took the punch and then hit him with the 1-2 Mayweather, and it was over. Like they didn't really come close to scoring in the second half. I mean, wasn't there a turnover involved in their first touchdown, or was it just punts, or did they just?
Notre Dame got the ball first. They punted, and then it was 4 consecutive touchdowns.
Okay, yeah. So it was looking slow for a little bit. Like it was looking like that over was money, and then we had one of our friends, Zach, live bet it at 80, and it was just like
not a chance.
Yeah, no shot in fucking hell. But
the highest it got to was 86 after it was 14-14. And I was like, holy shit, like that might be the highest besides probably like the Notre Dame Florida State game. Like those are probably some of the highest live overs you'll see on a Notre Dame game like in your lifetime. It was just like insane.
Yeah, like those. It's crazy. Like those numbers used to be like not consistent, but like normal in the Big 12 when they were just like the defense was just non-existent. Like I haven't seen an over like that, like live in a long time. So that was fucking nuts. And hindsight would have been a nice bet to hammer the under on, but
it was insane though, because like North Carolina's first drive, they went 54 yards on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, scored a touchdown. Their next drive, they went 75 yards on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays. And then after that, other than the field goal they let up before half, like I don't think North Carolina was even in Notre Dame territory. Like they looking now, the entire second half they did not cross midfield once. Okay, they did one time, and they got to the 45, and then ended up punting because North Carolina had a lot on sportsmanlike. I don't know if you guys noticed that either, but they were making some pretty stupid mistakes. But like Notre Dame's defense, they gave up less than 300 yards.
I mean
I would say like Trevor's hurt, but like Trevor didn't play against Notre Dame, but Notre Dame and Alabama just seem like the two most complete teams. Like the way they're beating teams, like Alabama, like you can say Auburn's good or not, but Auburn's a formidable opponent. Like I would consider Auburn, North Carolina, if they played each other, a pretty decent game.
Yeah, I would agree.
North Carolina, I would say probably wins, but like I would say that's a pretty good game. And like Alabama did the same thing. But they were at home and they beat the shit out of them. So like I think those two teams have been the most complete teams, offense, defense, and especially Alabama's defense has picked it up. And I also think Ian Book each week gets better. So like as Alabama's defense is getting better each week, I think Ian Book which he's always been good, but I just think he's making great decisions. He doesn't really make mistakes anymore. So
confidence is rolling, which I think was unfortunately probably not a problem for him, but it seems like Kelly's quarterbacks just don't play confident a whole lot. Like with how he like talks to him, I think that might be changing. And like he looks confident as shit out there.
He does.
That could just be because things are going right. Maybe he always is confident, but it seems like it's showing more so here recently.
But even Clemson game when like they needed a score, they got punched in the face. Like he still was like slinging the ball confidently. You know what I mean? So it's like, so to your point, like he.
And I mean, to be fair though, the run game being as strong as it is like a huge factor in that. Like it makes them focus on that. Play action is there all day. They can't. I mean, teams are doing what we did to Clemson. They're like, we're not going to let Williams beat you. We're not going to let ETN beat you. So like Book is getting opportunities to, and he has a good offensive line, which gives him time in the back or when he's dropping back and shit. So a lot of things that goes into that, but no doubt he's looking great. But the fact that we shut them out in the second half and North Carolina moves up 2 spots in the college football rankings is like,
so you
what is going on?
You made the point last week, and you said they shouldn't be ranked 19th.
And now they're fucking 17.
And I said, well, it kind of plays itself out. They beat them. They should move up. They lose. They should drop out.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
They lost and moved up. And it's not like it was a last-second field goal they lost by.
No, they didn't score.
They looked good for a quarter.
Yeah.
Like 1 quarter of that game, and they moved up 2 spots.
The playoff committee's inconsistency. Like another thing, why is Oregon even ranked?
What's the biggest thing that tells you though about North Carolina moving up? If you have one takeaway from that, like what does that tell you?
I think they think the Notre Dame is
really good.
I think it says not only do they think they're really good, they think that Alabama's 1A, Notre Dame's 1B. Almost no matter what happens in they have to lose probably like 30, like literally 30 points, or they are locked into the playoff.
Dude,
it does not matter what happens.
But if everything plays itself out, if North Carolina wins out, like
they can be a top 15 team at the end.
I
Then
still don't know if they get pushed out to even lose it by 28. Like I still think they might go to just 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, so it'd be between them and A&M most likely if everything goes according to how it probably will go. So
yeah.
A&M, I mean, unfortunately, they don't have as good of a win, and Florida. So I mean, Florida's a damn good team, but like once they get shit on by Alabama, they're gonna be like a 10.
But if like the only way they have as good of a win, but it also kind of still screws them is if Florida beat Alabama.
Right, and then they're definitely out. No chance.
Saying. It's like the only way they could argue they have a sizable win like that because odds are 4-1 it'd be 2-3 Florida.
So they get now like in this scenario they get punished. I mean, honestly, dude, fuck a East and West side. Like get the 2 best teams in the conference in the championship. Like, you know what I mean? Like get.
I agree with that. I think
I love how the ACC is doing it and how the Big 12 does it.
The Big 12 does it. Yeah.
Like get a fucking rematch of IU and Ohio State. Like that'd be fucking awesome. Then you got
problem is the
Ohio State got
the Big Ten couldn't do it this year because you just couldn't you couldn't.
Yeah, I know
scenario really, but in a regular game, go to 10 games and do that. Like,
yeah, like come on. I mean, so now you essentially your entire season comes down to one game if you're A&M. Like that, you have to beat Bama or you're not getting in because Bama will not lose to another. Like there's only 2 good teams on that side. So
and normally, I mean LSU. So it's like you got
I mean the fellow conference member understands that that's what happens every year and plays that game on a neutral site while you 2 are still playing home and aways every year. Like, so what the fuck's that all about? With Georgia, Florida, that pretty much decides who's going to make it to the East championship. So they play on a neutral site because it's literally the season. And then you got A&M. I know A&M and Auburn and Bama are like the trio, so you can't really do that. But this year, I mean, it's like Auburn's does not belong in that like discussion. So the whole game came down to one fucking game, and they're going to get probably fucked, and there's nothing they can really do.
Daggy, do you think IU should be ranked higher than 12?
See, that's what I was gonna say right when we were talking about like North Carolina losing to Notre Dame and moving up.
Yeah.
But when IU lost to Ohio State, we moved down 3 spots and we only lost 7 points. Okay, and then I was also gonna say that also like fits the point you're making that like Notre Dame, Alabama are like 1A, 1B, and then
and there's a big drop off. Yeah, like a big drop off.
That fits that narrative that you guys.
But what I was gonna say to you though is now, granted, but when IU lost to Ohio State, there wasn't a rankings of the playoffs yet. So
that's true. That was before the first rank.
But I will say too, I think the reason why they didn't move up is because Penix got hurt. Like I do think like they looked at that and they took that into factor.
I think so too. Unfortunately.
No. But like I understand like this past week, but I was more talking about like
when they but that was technically the first ranking, and that's
what I'm saying. So like going
like this had nothing to do with that was the AP poll you're talking, right?
Going into the Ohio State game, the playoff committee could have had them at 11. You know what I mean? That's the problem with that. It's like that's why I'm saying why can't the committee continue? Because like we don't know.
They need the committee needs to start earlier.
IU could have been 7 going into that game and dropped to 12, and we're sitting here like, wait, why? But they also could have been 12 and stayed at 12, or they could have been so like
they could have been right. They could have been 11 and moved to 10. Like who the fuck knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like who really knows?
Did they stay at 12?
Yeah.
IU?
Yeah, I'm trying not to get the rankings mixed up, but
yes,
I use 12 still. Yeah.
So I understand. Like, well, I'll get more into that because IU is one of the games we'll talk about today, but the line is absurd. That's all I'm gonna say for now. We'll get to that in a bit, though.
I have a few comments on that too. I agree with you, but so like the ranking.
I think they could still get in the. I think like IU still has like at least a 2 or 3% chance of making the college football playoff, though.
The only reason why I would say no is because like
Ohio State would have to lose or not play both games.
Right. We would have to play.
But
We would have to play all
A&M would get in over IU. That's my That's my only thing. Is like A&M would get
Do
over
they
IU.
not have any like tough games left, and they're not going to play in the SEC championship, right?
Right. They play.
Good.
I think it's
They might play
Missouri or
2
Vandy or
games left.
something.
They might play 2 games left, but that's
Wait, maybe they play Auburn.
they play at Auburn.
Oh, they
and
do.
then
Yeah.
they play Tennessee. So I mean, they could slip up and maybe one of those games, but if they win out, then there's 0 chance. Then you have Florida. Yeah, they probably get knocked out by Bama. If Cincy goes undefeated, with them at 7 and IU at 12, I honestly don't think the committee would put IU over Cincinnati. As wild as that sounds, like other than Ohio State,
I think they would.
I don't think the committee respects the Big Ten at all, other than Ohio State by these rankings.
I do think they respect like Power 5 conferences a lot.
But dude, you're telling me if you think that they respect the Big Ten that much, IU has won almost every game they've won pretty handily. They were never not in control of the game, and they are 5-1 with a 7-point loss at the number 4 school, and they have them at number 12.
Right. That's kind of the point I'm making. Like they're getting disrespect, but I understand they're going to keep them there. They want to see what this new quarterback's going to do before they. Like we could see if IU
because that inherently gives more merit to whoever would beat them without the new quarterback.
Exactly.
With the new, yeah.
Like if IU beats Wisconsin this week, I mean when they do,
right.
That IU should be like right 7. In the top 7. Yeah,
I think 7.
I was gonna say like 7. Cincinnati.
Bump Cincinnati back.
Who's 6th?
Florida. You see, they're not getting 6th or 5th. 7th is the best they can be.
Right. Until after the Big Ten championship, assuming that.
But in reality, IU has the same. I guess they would have the Wisconsin, but then it's like Wisconsin's not that good if IU beats them, in my opinion. They're 2-2.
Yeah, it's going to be.
That's the problem with the Big Ten playing so little games, because it's like, okay, if Wisconsin played every game, they could be 4-1 going into this game, and then they lose. It's like, okay, they're still pretty good, but they'd be 2-2. My thing too is like Miami.
Maggie,
Miami and IU right now have literally the same resume. Not any good wins. Not any good wins. And other than Miami lost by more to Clemson, but to the number 3 and 4 team loss. Like what they're literally the same.
But Miami was getting embarrassed though.
Miami has had a lot. Like Miami's had like 2 or 3 like field goal deciding games. Like
yes, but they have a better strength of record.
But and they played more games, which good on them. They're going to play more games than IU because they don't have dog shit commissioners like the Big Ten.
Dude, that guy should be fired so badly, because this is literally the perfect year for a school like IU or someone. Just the Big Ten.
Well, no, because if they did it right, then Ohio State would have no worry and they'd get in easy. And IU would have no chance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, or you could say if IU could practice more, they would have won. So
yeah, true. The only problem is it's true. Miami was getting dominated by Clemson, but IU was getting dominated pretty much
and then came back.
Yeah, they came back. So it's like that's still you don't take that away from them, but
they played
the whole fucking game. Yeah.
Yeah, they played a better entire half than who is supposedly the 4th best team in the entire country.
Right.
But if we want to like Miami,
yes,
Miami has beaten teams above 500.
Their strength of record is much better. Yeah, I mean
that's what I'm saying in the terms of that. Like
if Northwestern wouldn't have shit the fucking sheets and beat Michigan State, then we're looking at a real chance for IU to get in if this fuck up with Ohio State happens.
Because then the Big Ten championship would be like 7 versus 6 or 7.
Well, that's what. Yeah, it'd be 7 versus 8 probably.
I would agree. That's what I'm. So I would agree with that.
But
That's why I think IU has like 0, because they don't like if Wisconsin loses, then it's like, okay, are they even going to play any more games? Also, they only have they're 2-2 right now. Like they should not be in the top 25. So it's like.
Well, fuck. I mean, if they look at it like Notre Dame and they could still be in there, who the fuck knows?
What do you mean?
I only threw out that little.
I know that they have a losing record there.
IU possibility just as like a little talking point to I wanted to see if Michael would have just said no, just like straight up. But there is like
I would say
there's literally a 0% chance.
I would say
as it stands, though.
I would say with Northwestern losing, I agree, because like then IU could have had a legit chance at a top 10 win.
right.
And then it's like, okay, Wisconsin, hopefully Wisconsin somehow plays 2 more games after this. And they finish 4-2. Committee puts them in at like 21. That's a top 25 win. And then you have Northwestern, top 10 win. You beat them. And then it's like you're still stretching. And I mean, there's odds are probably not in their favor, but you have a chance then. Now it's just like with them being at 12. Now I do agree. Maybe they do move up if this quarterback looks good, but like, it's also like they put you at 12 and you're 5-1. So
yeah, but the other like thing that it just makes me happy enough to talk about IU football.
Oh, they're
like,
a football school now.
Playing as well as they are right now. Like it's
good. It's good, but if you look at it from a realistic perspective, they like these wins have been so bad though. Like I'm happy too.
But the only silver lining in that is like most of these teams are who they would have played anyways. Like these teams are just that bad then. Like
that's what's crazy.
The Big Ten, does it suck? But it's like okay, but that's also IU would have beat these teams normally then because these teams were going to be that bad anyway. So
but
I like from like being like at IU and like never getting to see IU beat some of these teams. Like if like that is like a great enough like side prize to the season.
So I have a question. Yeah, I agree with you though. Like being an
I kind of do.
Being an IU fan, I mean, it probably would suck because they've been horrible. But I have a question. So USC doesn't play.
Nope.
They moved down 2 spots. Wisconsin doesn't play. They stay the same. USC 3-0, Wisconsin 2-1. And don't give me Wisconsin's played better teams because their 2 wins are against Illinois and
Soda. Did they play Soda yet?
I thought it was Minnesota, yeah. And their loss, they got demolished by Northwestern. I mean, that game
they were out of it the whole way.
That's what I'm saying. It was like the score doesn't look as bad, but like they had 0 chance of winning that game at any point.
Yeah, they were out of it the
whole time. I don't get in like Oregon. I said this earlier, but why the fuck is Oregon ranked? They shouldn't be ranked. They're not good, and Oregon State blows.
I honestly think outside of like the top 7 or 8, they don't care, and they just like try to make maybe some things to talk about so people talk about it and get some more. And stuff get some like stupid parody in the season and shit. Like, because there's no way they spend. We obviously we know this. They don't spend as much time on the top 8 or 9 as they do the rest of the fucking list. Like they probably are just like. I'm sure there's people in there that are just like, dude, this COVID year is so ass. Like because the bottom half is so stupid. Like it defies all logic. It literally makes no sense. Like you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't. Like, I'm okay with Washington moving in, I guess.
I mean, Georgia at 9 is really dumb, too, I think. Like, 8. I mean, they have barely beat a terrible Mississippi State team. Have 2 bad losses.
I think, like, I heard this today, and, like, I don't agree with it, but, like, I don't know if you've seen Georgia since they switched quarterbacks.
They are a lot better. I agree with that.
They are, but it's also, like, dude,
the defense got worse somehow.
But it's like you played 2 good teams and got absolutely murdered by both. Like,
you have 0 impressive wins. Like nothing about you barely beat Tennessee. Like I mean, you beat them, but
that's like the whole thing with SEC. I guess you could say that with almost any conference. Like if you're one of the top 3 teams, you have to go at least 2-3 against your 3 good games you're going to play, including your conference championship. And Georgia did that this year, so I don't really. I mean, there's not, and like their defense was what's kind of like their back front for.
They've been like, horrendous.
Fromm was never really like an awesome quarterback, but like going down from him, like their defense was supposed to be their keep, and I kind of like harp on their defense being awesome, but it's really hasn't been that great since like their 3rd or 4th game this year.
Their 2 games against Florida and Bama, they almost let up 100 points combined. I think they actually did let up like 100 points combined. Like, their defense is. They did.
They let up a healthy amount to Tennessee, a healthy amount to Mississippi State, who can't score on fucking anybody. They have some like good games in there, but it's like not consistent to even be like talked about as the best defense.
Nah, not at all.
I just like, you know what would be crazy though? And I don't think this would happen because I do think Ohio State's good. But if, like, let's say Ohio State, Michigan gets canceled and the Big Ten switches everything around so Ohio State can make it, and Ohio State either loses against Northwestern in the Big Ten title or they go to the playoffs and just get murdered.
So they'd be playing Bam. I mean, that wouldn't even be that crazy if
no,
wait, they'd be 3, yeah.
Yeah, they'd be 3. So they would play a
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah, or if somehow Clemson beat them, they'd play Clemson. But yeah, either or, like it's like
That sucks.
if they got blown out.
Actually, no, it doesn't. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you gotta. We want Ohio State. Like, who else?
This is the first time I've been a Notre Dame fan, and I'm like
bring on Ohio State.
I had false hope against Clemson when they went.
Me too.
Like I was like, okay. In reality, after the game, I was like, okay, I knew that kind of. When they played Bama in the national title, I was like, yeah, okay, they have no. I knew that before the game. The Clemson game, I was like, okay, maybe if their defense has been good, maybe they get a few plays.
Yeah, and they kind of looked good through like a little bit of the game. Like,
this is the first time where I'm like, okay, yeah, like they have a legit chance to beat anyone they play.
Yeah, I think it might be a little stretch to say that for Alabama, to be honest, but I think anybody else.
That's the thing. I do agree.
I mean, the Alabama quarterback, like the experience level. I mean, Ian Book has been in those high stress games, millions and millions and millions of people watching, way more. So I mean,
but he always shits the bed.
He started.
I'm just trying to get a few pros.
He started last year at Auburn, so he's got like the most tough situation in a top 10 matchup. So, but I mean, I get what you're saying, but also it's like
the problem is
that's why you go to Alabama. You know what I mean?
But no, here
that's why you go to Alabama.
Where it's different though is like Notre Dame's defense is, pretty damn good, but. Yeah, I mean, holding Clemson at 31 or 33 is actually like that's pretty commendable, I'd say, like with how explosive they are. But yeah, I would be more confident than ever that they could beat Alabama, but I wouldn't like for some reason.
I would still say if I was gambling, Alabama would win the game against Ohio State and Clemson. Like Clemson,
I think they somehow will be favored. I think they'll be favored.
100% they will be. The second, like in the ACC championship, just because like it's so hard to beat a team 2 times in a row, like I do think it will be very tough for Notre Dame to win that game. If they played a third time though, I would actually, if they somehow met in the championship, I would be like, I think Notre Dame wins this game. Ohio State has shown me nothing. Like I think legit they would, like no doubt they would beat Ohio State.
Yeah, so. Unfortunately, like if they lose in the ACC championship game, obviously they're going to be playing Alabama most likely.
Yeah.
Or no. So wait, here's the scenario. Clemson beats Notre Dame.
Florida beats Alabama.
Florida beats Bama. Ohio State wins out. Who's in?
Ohio State's definitely out.
If they win out, you think?
Yeah,
undefeated Ohio State.
In that scenario.
Oh, you think Florida gets in? You think Florida gets in?
Right. Yeah, if they take down Alabama and
who then rank them? Where are the rankings then?
It would have. I mean, you'd have to put Florida 1.
I think
Clemson 1. I think.
Well, actually, I don't know because,
no, it'd definitely be Clemson 1, Florida 2.
Just because I don't think.
You think so?
I don't think Florida would jump from 6 to 1 and jump over Clemson for beating.
Because Clemson
it really wouldn't matter. They just They just wouldn't want Florida and Alabama playing again.
No. It would be Clemson. No, it would be if that happened.
Notre Dame would be 4.
No,
right. Notre Dame would if we lose to Clemson.
It would.
But Bama would be 3.
But then they'd mess it up because they wouldn't play each other again.
They would have Notre Dame. It would be Notre Dame versus Florida and Clemson versus Alabama.
No, I think they.
No,
I think. Would it be? That would be insane. That'd be insane. So we get a 3-peat of Notre Dame, Clemson, and then a 2-peat of Auburn, Bama. That'd be dope. I think.
It would not do that though. Like
that's what they've already, especially Notre Dame, Clemson. That'd be their 3rd time. Like
the committee's too smart to.
No, I think that's how they should be ranked though. Like when you think about it. Like how could it be any different? Because if you think Alabama's 1A, Notre Dame is 1B, then Ohio State does not get in. I think.
Right. I agree. I don't think Ohio State gets in that scenario.
I actually, you know what? That I kind
Could
of.
Notre Dame not be in there?
I was gonna say I wouldn't be shocked if Ohio State plays the rest of their games and wins the Big Ten championship.
I think they might
committee-
put in Notre Dame or Ohio State.
If the committee was just like, you know what, we've seen Ohio State, Notre Dame play Clemson twice.
But
Had Bama won the whole time. No, and then this is what would be their thinking. Clemson lost at Notre Dame without their star quarterback. Like you know, what I mean? Like they would say all that shit. Like
depending on what the score was too of these games,
I wouldn't be shocked if they somehow left them out. Like I would not be shocked in that scenario. So
let's hope that doesn't fucking
happen. Is Bama needs to fucking just win out,
and nothing else matters really.
If Bama wins out, nothing else matters because there's no one that could jump Notre Dame then.
I think as long, but like I think like two things would still need to happen if Florida did happen to Alabama for Notre Dame to get like one, Ohio State would have to like fucking rail the rest of their games like 30 points and Notre Dame.
Man.
If Notre Dame keeps it like within like 2 touchdowns, then
if it's close.
I don't know. I think it needs to be like a 1 possession game. Like they have a chance to go win it at the end.
But no, I kind of do agree with you, Nagy, on the like, especially let's say Ohio State has one of their last 2 games canceled, and the Big Ten switches everything so they're allowed to play in the Big Ten championship. Let's say they win on a last-second field goal. I kind of agree with you on that, Nagy. Like I don't know if they would put Ohio State in, especially if they only played.
Yeah, if it's that close, I agree.
Games. Like I don't think you're telling me Notre Dame will then have played like 5 more games than Ohio State.
Right. I think this is where the committee gets to use the eye test like super hard, and they're just gonna. It wouldn't even matter if Ohio State beat Michigan and Northwestern by.
Michigan and Michigan State, who gives a fuck how much they beat them by? They should that's not going to be impressive either way.
Yeah, but I feel like
this is where they're going to use the eye test and say, well, you know what? Like Ohio State looks sloppy on like 2 or 3 of its drives. The defense looked kind of sloppy like this entire quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this really a team that is better than these 4? Probably not this year.
I agree with that. Plus, the Michigan State game. Like it can only harm them. Like,
only hurt them. Yeah, there's no bright side.
If they come out and win by 35, okay, you're supposed to. If you win by 7 against Michigan, who's been horrible, it's like, dude, okay,
right.
Like to your point, Nagy, the eye test. You are not one of the 4 best teams. So
yeah,
I completely agree with that.
What that'd be great justice to the Big Ten from the College Football Committee, just like
to say shove it.
Yeah, like
the committee has left out a Big Ten champion before. Like that's been a thing. They left out Penn State.
So that goes to his point more. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm saying they already hate. Like I could see it, but I think another big point is Notre Dame will be able to say they beat everybody on their schedule, and only like one other team would be able to say that.
Who?
Alabama, if they were to win, but if they don't, then Notre Dame would be the only team.
Clemson would technically. Clemson.
Yeah,
which is like saying something. I think. Yeah, I think in the committee's eyes, if you beat literally everybody that, like you split a series with like the top 3 teams. I think there is a big drop off between 3 and 4 though, or like the 1, 2, 3, and then 4. That's where I think the big drop off is. We already talked about it, but
that's the problem though is like Ohio State's only win against a formidable opponent. Like IU made more mistakes than Ohio State made plays. Like it wasn't like it's like their one good win. Like
they let up 500 passing yards almost.
Right.
In the next week, I know Penix got hurt. He threw for like 100 yards against a horrible Maryland defense. So it's like Ohio State's defense really isn't that good. Like it's not like Penix. Penix all year, he's been good and he's very mobile and he makes good decisions. But like Ohio State game was probably his best game, and he like in terms of just airing it out, it's not even close.
But to be fair though, he had a couple where it was like, how the fuck did that guy just catch that? And it was like 60 yards each time. I know it's like still impressive to throw like for 350 against Ohio State, but like some of those were just like those aren't good throws. They're
but
just
then
like
vice versa, it's like 100 times IU had Justin Fields sacked and
that's true. I don't know what that was just mind blowing.
Literally like wrapped up, but yeah. All right, we ready to get in some games?
Yeah.
Two
Want me?
games.
Unless
I'll
you
go
guys have
through
any
the,
last comments.
No, that we covered.
I had one more last comment though. What's crazy is like going into the season, you remember how everyone was like the Pac-12 has zero chance because they're just not that good of a conference, and with the only 6 games, whatever. Like with everyone kind of losing, if Oregon just won, they would have had not a lot of chance, but this would have been like with everyone losing, it would have just been perfect for their little bit of a chance to become a little bit more of a chance. And then you go and lose to Oregon State. I just think that's fucking hilarious. Like the Pac-12 literally is never going to get a team in again. Like,
R.I.P. Brett. That was hard.
God.
I don't know. I'd be so mad at their coach. Their coach can recruit.
They almost fucking blew it against UCLA too.
And UCLA
Yeah.
had 11 guys out for COVID.
Pac-12 sucks. Big Ten fucking sucks. Get them out of here.
I agree.
Except for
That Notre Dame's secured either way, no matter what scenario comes down, as long as they don't lose by 30.
Yeah, I think the benchmark might be 30 for them to be the 4th best team.
I would have to agree.
I don't think there's any like scenario where they lose by 30 anyways. Like,
yeah, I mean they
not trying to
literally
jinx
And
it.
even in that scenario, you could be down 24 and just be like, guys, let's just get one last touchdown.
I
And,
think
Yeah, like
I
let's
know
get
I know people are like, well, they watch the game. Yeah, but 17 looks better than 24. I don't care what any of you say. It does. Like,
oh yeah.
yeah, the eye test is still involved, but like a 3-score game is always better than almost a 4-score game.
110%.
All right, so let me go over the updated records and standings for our college show. Michael, very unlucky with who's your
Texas.
guy? Yeah.
Central Florida was my
That was
guy.
Or Central Florida.
They were
yeah.
up only in a 17 at halftime or 21.
Yeah, it was
21.
21,
Yeah.
and they end up. I mean, they won by like 7 or 10.
Yeah,
they
it was
won
like
by 8.
But fucking
Oh.
fuck Texas, dude. I don't to go on this point real quick. I don't know if you guys saw what that Iowa State running back said.
No.
He said it's 5-star players playing against 5-star.
Yeah, 5-star culture.
I love that fucking quote because they went to fucking Texas and won. And he's not wrong because Tom Herman fucking has a 5-star players, but Iowa State has a fucking 5-star culture. Fuck Tom Herman. Go cheer on your wife again.
This is a fire quote. That's like, put that in the locker room. That is he. But dude, that was some of the worst fucking coaching I've seen in college football this year.
And Sam Ehlinger, like you literally just can't take a sack. That's literally the only thing you can do.
So
You can't do. But all right,
Texas sucks.
They do.
Michael, like I said, very unlucky with that UCF do or die. Down 6 from the last week. So overall, he's up about 4 units. Olina continues to roll 4.5 units. His overall is up to 47.5 units. And then I think this might have been like my second best week of the year, but it was still only plus 5.8 units. And then on the season, I'm plus 7 units. So I mean, Olina's got 40 on me, and I'm in second place. So I mean, there's like 2 regular season weeks of college football. Like,
could we see the greatest choke debacle of all time, or is it ogre?
2 regular weeks and conference championship.
I want to
bowl season in this.
Shit, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, we can include it, but Olina will win like regular season champ.
Dude, I'm gonna cash my futures then. Fuck.
Yeah, all the futures. Notre Dame to the ACC championship. That was like probably minus 600.
No, it was plus money, but it wasn't a lot because them and Clemson were.
It was still holy fuck.
I mean, Clemson it was like plus 100. Like those schools are, or no, I think they might have been minus like 100.
Yeah, I don't like who else could have even really done it. Miami, they were thinking something like that.
Miami, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
But the problem with those is like if one player gets hurt, like a Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, granted that other kid was good, but
yeah, he was really good.
That could ruin a whole season.
True.
But okay, what do we? You said everyone's?
Yep, everyone's good. So Ready to get into week 13?
Game day.
All right. So first, we're only going to talk about 2 games before we get to our cards. First game certainly should not be a 2 p.m. Eastern game. Should be on one of the main 3 time slots. But we got Liberty going over to Coastal Carolina.
This is at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Why wouldn't if game day is there? Why wouldn't they? Okay, whatever.
It's I don't get that at all. But
that makes no sense.
Big game for this non-Power 5 conference. We got Liberty coming in at 10.5.
Wait. I have it as a 1 p.m. Eastern game at 2 p.m. Central.
Oh.
Well,
Is
either
it?
way, wouldn't be noon.
Early game.
But Liberty's plus 10.5, Coastal's minus 10.5, and the over/under's 54.5.
This is
Love Liberty.
Wait.
Love
Andrew, what time do you have it at?
1 or 2 Central, 1 Eastern. Or that doesn't make sense, does it?
You mean
no?
2 Eastern, 1 Central. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So it is 2. I just did that backwards. Fucking stupid.
This says it at 1 Central too. Okay, doesn't matter. But you said 10.5 points. Yeah. I think this is solely based on the NC State game, why this line is like this. Like, I think if Liberty would have beat NC State, this line would be way closer. Coastal Carolina is very good.
They defied the death game thing.
They murdered Texas. Oh shit, shouldn't say that. They
yeah, come on.
They played Coastal's very good actually. It's a cool school, cool stadium. I think this is going to come down to, can Liberty's quarterback make throws? Because Coastal's defense isn't bad. They're going to make him make throws. I don't know if Liberty has a pretty good defense, but Coastal's offense is very good. So it's like, can Liberty's quarterback make throws? I think that's literally what it comes down to. Can he make tight window throws, move the ball, keep the Coastal's offense off the field? I don't think he can. I would side with Coastal in this game. Coastal's been good to me all year, though. So
the Liberty's been good to me all year. Liberty has yet to not cover. Just a fun fact for everybody.
That is very true.
So
were they underdogs against NC State?
They're plus 3.5.
Underdogs in that one, and then underdogs to Virginia Tech. I mean, they won every other game, but
they won. I was gonna say they
won. So I mean, there's no chance I'm getting off Liberty now. I've been on that train since the fucking kickoff.
I do think 10.5 is a lot of points, though.
Yep.
Especially at 10.5. I'd probably like him like at plus 5.5 or something. I don't know about that. That'd be like right where it should be, I think.
Under a touchdown, I would love Coastal. Over like 10.5. Like they could lose
10,
like
10 in the hook is like, but I mean, simply because they've been so good to me, I like Liberty here. And I know that realistically, like a 10.5 point game for a team like Coastal is nothing crazy for them. Like I mean, they score so damn fast. It's like
I agree with that.
So I'm not saying it's like good, bad, or whatever, but
money and crumbs.
Yeah, can't do it. Got to go with.
Yeah, see, I do. This is a little different from me, like kind of just saying I don't really know much about like non-Power 5 football. These are 2 like really solid football teams that could compete with probably like 40 to 50% of Power 5 teams this year. So I think it's kind of trappy. Like I feel like Liberty plus 10.5 is super attractive. I feel like a lot of people are going to be on Liberty to cover. But I'll stick with Liberty plus 10.5, but I'm liking the over as well. I think both teams might ball out. But I don't know. I like the plus 10.5 way more than the over. But this is still me being very novice about both these teams. I've seen both them play maybe 6-7 quarters combined the whole season.
There you go.
So, but I like 10.5.
You should watch this game Saturday. They're actually fun to watch.
Right. I'll probably watch it until the IU game starts. But speaking of that,
what, you only got one TV? Come on now.
Well, I'll be at work.
Oh,
But anyway, next that rolls into the other game we're going to talk about. Then we'll get to our cards. The college slate is very weak. Not a lot of big matchups this week, but this one is huge. We got Alina and I's team, the Indiana Hoosiers, traveling over to Wisconsin to take them on. They're coming in without Michael Penix, and they're also coming in as underdogs, as 14.5-point underdogs. And I minus 14.5, and the over-under is a measly 45.5 points. Michael, what do you think about this game?
I think because of how bad Wisconsin got embarrassed against Northwestern that they will win this game. But you said 14.5, right?
Yep, 14.5.
I think, like,
that's just
if Ohio State plays their best game, I think Ohio State's the only team in the Big Ten that could beat IU by more than 17 points, like 14.5 points. Like, I don't think anyone one is that good, like really that good to do it. And plus, like, IU's defense is gonna know it needs to play, and like the way Wisconsin plays, like they're not gonna like. And when IU was horrible back in the day, they'd give up 700 rushing yards. Like, this defense isn't gonna let Wisconsin go for 75-yard touchdown runs. So it's like,
right?
Can they even blow a team out? You know, I mean, they can shitty teams, but IU's not a shitty team. So I like IU plus 14.5. I think Wisconsin wins this game, but 14.5 is just, I mean, that's way too many fucking points.
All right, what about you, Elena?
Yeah, I'm trying to see exactly, like, I don't even know if I can pull it up on this stupid fucking app, but who's the quarterback?
So the backup for IU, he's a four-star freshman. So I mean, this is
I thought he transferred from Utah.
Or he's a four-star transfer. Yeah,
he might be. He's a freshman redshirt or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably the best backup IU has probably ever had.
Let's just say this: if Penix wasn't a returning starter, it would have been a legit open camp. Like, this kid's pretty good.
Yeah,
but then again, it's his first.
And Penix got hurt when
against Maryland last week.
What quarter though?
8.
I can see it. What's his name? Boone? Or no, it's
Herman Boone, I think.
No, it's not Boone. It's S. Scott. Right?
But what I'm saying is like,
oh no, it's not.
He's a four. Like,
it's Tutty.
He's a very capable kid. Like, that's
Tuttle is his name.
Yes, he's a very capable kid. But
he had a touchdown. Okay, nice.
Yeah, no, he can come in and play, but it's also like, will you trust him as, like, that's the difference between winning and losing is like, will you trust him in a 3rd and long, all that nonsense. But the 14.5 to me is just absolutely. Nagy, you can go on your. Did you talk yet, or?
I was waiting for Alina. I mean, obviously,
Maryland's defense is really fucking bad, so a little discouraging that the boys couldn't put up a little bit more against them. So not looking too hot. I like, for some reason, I mean, I'm taking. There's no way I'd ever take fucking Wisconsin minus 14.5 after they just put up 7 points against Northwestern. Like, come on now. Like,
well, that's my point is like, they probably score a little bit more than that just because, like, I think Penix getting hurt is like, that just can take.
What do you think the line would be if Penix is healthy? That's what I'm curious.
The way this is going, like, I still think they would probably have had Wisconsin like minus 5.5, 6.
Right.
I think it might have been like 4 or something, like 3, 4, or 5. Yeah, 7 would be really surprising, I think.
But like, it can take a lot out of a team, you know, when your quarterback gets hurt and you've had a really good year. But like, I just like, I would not be shocked if somehow this game was like 14-10, like legit 14-10.
That's what I was gonna say. Not the score part, but like. Yeah, I think that's why IU didn't end up blowing out Maryland, was just because, like, once Michael went down, it was like, I think it really hit like the whole team and like the whole staff. Like, man, this is really like one of the best athletes IU football has ever had, and he's just like hurt in one of our best seasons as a university. And
like the best season in 35 years. Yeah.
right, but they've had a week off. Hopefully they can. I mean, Tom Allen. This is like right where Tom Allen needs to like continue to show how great of a coach he is. Is like turn the whole team around. Like really hammer down the next man in. Get ready for this whole week and getting ready for Wisconsin. So yeah, I don't fucking know who pulled out 14 and a half out of their ass on this game. But I mean, that's just so disrespectful. This IU defense is really insanely good. Like this IU defense is.
That's the thing is like why this game is probably going to be close. Like IU's quarterback, it could play like shit and they still lose a close. You know what I mean? Like it could. That's like the Northwestern game because what was Northwestern beat them like 17-7. Northwestern beat Wisconsin like 17-7.
Yeah.
Like it could literally be like that where like IU's offense, they were never really in it, but like their defense kept them in it and just Wisconsin can't fucking score.
Yeah.
Did we lose Nagy?
He just paused his phone, I think. But yeah, I mean, that's what I agree with too. I don't think Wisconsin even necessarily has the firepower to beat them by.
If IU scores a touchdown in the first half, I think it's like a virtual lock to this game that they're covering. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just because Tom Allen will have that defense so fucking fired up.
That's what I'm saying, and they know like the defense is very good, and they also know that. Like
they're gonna need to carry.
Yes.
Yeah, they need to carry this team to the win this week.
And what are they best at? Creating turnovers.
Yeah,
you know, and that's
there he goes.
And that's
his phone might have died, but yeah, I like IU. I mean, I didn't get to see that other kid play too much, to be honest. I wish I would have, but
I just saw the highlights.
Yeah, that's all I saw too. So they obviously don't think this guy is very good, like clearly, because
Vegas and even the committee, I would say, I think the committee thinks he's okay, but Vegas for sure thinks this guy sucks. Like,
yeah, I mean,
no doubt about that.
But to be fair, I mean, Penix puts up insane numbers to get them to beat like the decent teams. Penn State, he had like a monster stat line, didn't he?
Second half he did, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Ohio State, like every other, like I don't know. Yeah, there's no way I'd take Wisconsin. Like Wisconsin already showed that they can't do it. So,
well, even like when they played, who was it? It was Illinois. The first half, like Illinois had 3 turnovers, I think, and Wisconsin won by 14, and like all 3 of them resulted in 3 touchdowns. So it's like, if Illinois just doesn't turn the ball over, it's literally like
they were barely going to cover that first half. They got like 2 quick scores to do it. I remember because I had them.
So it's just that's what I don't. That's to me is why it's just like insane that this line is like this. But
yeah, but I mean, realistically, I could see IU really struggling here and lose 21-3 maybe or something. I just don't.
That's the problem. Is like if this kid does really suck and IU is just decimated, like losing your quarterback on your best year in 35 years, like think of like IU fans of the past 10 years, you've really had nothing to cheer for. So like as a team, like it could decimate you. So like I do see that a little bit, but my thing is like I think Tom Allen is a complete opposite type of guy.
Yeah.
Where like there's no like they're not gonna have like 12 men on the field, stupid penalties on third, So
yeah.
They're super well coached on that part, which I think will help them. So,
I mean, they pretty much put up 17 against Maryland without him. So, but they were like first and goal when he got hurt.
I mean, Maryland, they've had like weird games. Like they look okay, look horrible, look okay, look horrible. But
they made Stua look bad.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think like their defense, like Wisconsin's defense is so easy to stop. So, I just I don't know. But we can get into our cards. Maybe Nagy will join us if his
I think his shit died. It sounds like
100% died. All right, I have mine. Let me pull it up. I have a huge card.
Do you?
Absolutely ginormous card.
I like a lot of games too, but I don't know how much I'm going to put on here.
I think there's just a lot of money in the crumbs, to be honest.
Yeah, the crumbs might follow the kid
So
a little bit.
I have Louisiana Tech -1.5 at North Texas. Air Force at Utah State under 51.5. Appalachian State -2.5. They're playing Louisiana Lafayette at home. Memphis at Tulane. I have Memphis money line -102. Nebraska at Purdue. I have Purdue -2.5. Syracuse at Notre Dame. I have Notre Dame -33.5. Boston College at Virginia. I have Boston College +6.5. Don't be afraid to sprinkle some money line on that one. I am not doing it on my card, but I might in real life. Ball State at Central Michigan. I have Central Michigan money line -120. Florida Atlantic at Georgia Southern. I have Georgia Southern -140. UCLA at Arizona State. I have. Or wait, never mind. I don't have them. Wait, I had a few more games. Let's see. I had that. We're on our cards, Nagy.
All right. Sorry about that. My phone
No,
died.
you're good. You're good. Where is the Arizona State game? Okay, so I have
by
that,
the way,
that.
I'm taking Indiana 14.5. All right.
Oh, I have Indiana +14.5. Thank you for reminding me on that one. And then the Arizona State game is the one that I need to find the line on really quick.
Which one?
Arizona State.
Hmm.
Oh no, never mind. I'm not gonna take it anymore. It's -3.5. I liked it. It was 2.5 when I liked it. Okay, that's my card.
All right. So I was going to take him last week. Still, I like him in this spot too. The troops, the Air Force troops. I think it's 10 or I don't know. Well, is it 10 or 11?
I'll check it.
But whatever it
Check
is,
it
I'll take
too.
them.
It's 11.5.
Oh, 11.5. Fuck,
It's tomorrow. Did you know that?
Yeah. Cincinnati -3.5, right? Against fucking Tulsa. I mean, Cincinnati's going to embarrass them if they can. Like, they're going to try their asses off.
No, Cincinnati doesn't play Tulsa. Cincinnati plays.
Tulsa plays Navy.
Yeah.
Oh, what? It says
that game. No, they were supposed to. That game got canceled.
Oh my god. And then an interesting one is UNC -50 against Western Carolina. I kind of want to just take Western, but I'm not going to. Let's see. I like Ohio State first half and then Ohio State full game, honestly.
What is it? I don't.
23.5 is what I have it at.
There it is. Yep.
Is it 23.5?
Yep, 23.5.
I think.
Okay.
If Ohio State gets to play this week, style points could fucking matter.
First half is 13.5.
Yeah, I love that first half. Michigan State coming off a big win, like they're already happy for the year. They're gonna get fucking shit on.
All right, predicament. You can either have 23.5 and 13.5, but on mine it says 24 for the game and then 12.5 for the first half. Which one would you rather have?
12.5 for the first half.
And then 24 for the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, that's probably better. Because I might sprinkle that. Okay, so are you scrolling down the games like time wise? What's the Kansas first half line? Kansas Texas Tech.
12.
Kansas first half.
12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Kansas first half is Texas Tech -15.5.
Oh, damn it.
It's 27 on the game.
Yeah, it's 15.5 first half. I think they know that they're gonna.
It's not even offering it on DraftKings, so
I kind of like that, but yeah, add that for now. We'll take a look at it. Where's the other one I like? So Western just came off a super embarrassing performance last week, and they still found a way to win. I like Western Michigan first half against Eastern. Should be like 6 or 7. You don't have to look that one up. I'll just take
Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
It's 13.5 full game. So yeah, I would assume
6 or 7, whatever.
7.5.
Okay. I like Liberty +10.5. I like. So what is so 33? What's that, like 18? Notre Dame first.
33. It might be 20.5. Like
That's
if
just too much.
those big ones, they would like
They
they're
give you a little bit
thinking-
of a down. Yeah.
They're thinking they're going to beat them by a lot, and then the second half
Yeah.
they take their starters out.
Oh, okay. I see.
Getting
I
on,
see. That makes sense. I like IU plus 14.5. Like that's just way too many points. I like Illinois or Iowa minus 13.5 against Illinois. That could be off by a point or two, a point and a half, whatever. Florida minus 9 first half. Is that? I think that's what it is. And then that is it, except for my do or die.
All right. Then mine is going to be all right. So I'm going to take Texas minus a 7, hope for a bounce back. They're playing Kansas State, who's pretty banged up. So I feel like 7 points is kind of generous. They're kind of like hitting Texas a little too hard for that loss last week. I'm taking TCU plus 2.5 at home.
TC who?
I forget who they play.
Baylor.
Oh, I think they play Oklahoma State at home.
TCU plays Oklahoma State. You are correct, at home.
And you're taking them plus 2.5?
Yeah.
Holy.
Oklahoma State just had like 3 or 4 guys opt out for the rest of the year.
TCU's a solid team, and Oklahoma State, like, they kind of let down from what they used to be. So I'm kind of hoping TCU capitalizes on that.
Their running back, I'm pretty sure, isn't playing, and they had like 3 or 4 guys opt out. I think that's why that line's like that.
Wow.
I didn't know they lost a running back. I did hear they were down a player or two. I didn't know it was that many, though. I also got Liberty plus 10.5 in the Coastal game. I'm taking Florida full game, 17.5. I think they're just fucking like they're just so good. They're so fun to watch too. Taking Boston College, they're still getting disrespected. They just beat Louisville, and now they're underdogs against Virginia. So
what do you have them at?
4.5.
Yeah, I said 6.5. It did change. I have them at 4.5 too. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, 6.5 would almost be a do or die worthy line, but
yes,
I love 4.5 still. And then my last one is going to be IU's money line again. Great value on IU money line. It's plus 480. They're really saying that IU only wins this game 1 out of every 5 times. I don't think so. Yeah, feed me plus 480, please. And then my do or die.
Okay, so I have 2 do or dies. If I lose both, I will be on a losing streak of 3 games. But I already said mine, but I have Purdue minus 2.5 and Memphis money line plus 100, both for 5
Who does Purdue play this week?
Nebraska at home.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
I just think Nebraska is not good. That's my thought process on that.
Purdue continually getting fucked by the refs too, so they're due to win one.
Yeah, they are. So my do or die is going to be Florida minus 9.5 first half against Tennessee. But is that at Tennessee?
That's who they're playing. Yeah, Tennessee.
Fuck. Damn, I don't know. That's what it'll be right now, I guess. I just don't. God damn it. Thought that was at home.
Who, Florida, you're talking?
Yeah, I thought it was at home.
I don't know.
There.
It's the only problem with that game is like this is like Jeremy Pruitt's one chance to maybe save his job.
Yeah. Oh, fucking.
But then again, Tennessee.
But Florida's also still playing for.
Yeah, but
Georgia and Vanderbilt. I could go. The over-unders. Oh, that's the first half. I thought it was the full game. It said 30.5. I was like, no.
Yeah, I think Georgia's minus 33.5 or something.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
they are.
Vanderbilt like doesn't know if half their team's gonna play either. So it's like if you like it's
Should-
absurd. Could you imagine if like 10 starters sat out and you got it at 33? Like Georgia could beat their regular team by 50, let alone losing 10 guys. Like
And if that girl's not kicking, like they have no chance.
they have like some guy coming in like
If she's not kicking, they cannot win the game. Like she's right.
but no, they have like I think when they got like all the backlash and like their players were pissed, like they're bringing in some dude off the street type thing. Like I don't know if she's kicking this weekend because like everyone was pissed. So like
They already said she's playing again.
she is.
Yeah.
That's gonna be wild then to see how they handle it. That
Early shooting up, but like they said she was playing in the tweet I saw.
that's just it's gonna be wild because like I wonder how the team feels about her. Now, granted, it's not because like she's a woman. It's like the chick gave a halftime speech and told the players they have no pride, which is just an absurd.
She
move.
said they have no pride.
She said she didn't like how they had no pride on the sidelines at halftime of a game with them getting
okay.
blown out.
Yikes.
Like, let alone, I think we could call every kicker in the world, and all of them would say, I've never done that, let alone someone's first game.
I
That's
mean,
just
there's like one that you can think of. It's maybe like a Pat McAfee. Like there's not many kickers that could ever.
But even
tell
McAfee, I feel like he knows the room so well. He's not cocky like that. So, like, he wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he wouldn't do that around Peyton Manning.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a few kickers who, like, you could be like, okay,
Not
maybe
to Peyton.
maybe they could. But could you imagine being on scholarship and having, like, it's like, let's just call it what it is. We don't have to be super PC. It's a football game, and, like, some females coming in
With her pads on and her helmet.
screaming at you. Like, that would just be wild.
I'm just kidding.
That would be fucking wild.
She's like, "Where's the pride?"
Yeah,
Bitch, we're
totally,
down. Bitch, we are down
agree, like,
41 to or 21-0, and we have
No,
not
I
even
think it was
came
like
close.
30 something to nothing. They're getting blown out, and they're horrible. So
I mean, I thought it was cool. Like, it was a cool moment for like football. But
I disagree completely.
But when Michael told me about the halftime thing, I was like,
Bro,
whoa.
how is that
Like,
cool though? She
That's
squibbed
super,
it.
that's super unwarranted. Like, do you really think these guys that just get fucking blown out each week really want to hear that again?
plus, it's like they're also Division I football players. Like they don't fucking give a fuck what you think. Like it's just one of the most.
Are we sure that's true that she gave the speech? I'm finding this a little bit hard to believe.
Clay Travis tweeted about it. They had
It's
a whole
gotta be true.
article.
No, I'm
they
kidding.
had a whole article about. They talked to a few players.
But I mean, like, are we? Let's break down that kick. Are we impressed by that kick or no?
I gotta say, I haven't seen it, but
Bro, it went like 17 yards in the air. It was a squib kick.
I don't really see. I think Vanderbilt kind of set her up to fail too, though, which is kind of
why would you?
like why tell her
kick
to why
it?
tell her to
No,
squib?
I heard it was by design so that like she
Can't
wouldn't get
hit.
hit. Yeah.
That makes sense, but then it's also like okay, then she can't.
Okay,
play.
then why is she fucking?
That's what I'm
playing?
saying. Okay, she can't play then. You'd be better off like onside kicking it every time. But granted, you didn't score, so you only had to kick off one time.
Dude, what if she would have done that? What if she would have came out and kicked an onside? That would have been fucking nuts.
And they recovered, I would have been like, okay, respect. But like squibbing
Hell
it,
yeah.
like,
Then why not onside fucking kick it? You're down.
Right.
Like
No,
that's
no.
what you-
Her only kick the whole game
I know.
was the beginning
know.
of the game.
No,
Yeah,
it
the
was
squib kick.
halftime. It was the beginning
no,
of
it was
the second
it was
half.
the second half. Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, they were losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
and
down
then-
like 30 to nothing or something.
Oh.
yeah.
21-0 at least.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is like why
definitely
not
should pick up,
why not
like-
squib it? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they definitely should have onside kicked
Or
it.
why
then.
not onside to kick it? But
I only thought it was the first kick of the game
No.
until just now.
So they lost 41-0. Let's see what the halftime
but to your
score
point
was.
then it's like
It was
she can't-
21-0 at half.
she can't play then though. Like to your point, I get the design of it because you don't want to get her killed, but then it's also like she can't play, right?
She does have like good size like for like she's a soccer goalie, like she's almost like
yeah,
she's
but
6 foot.
who
like,
they
I'm sure
play?
she
Who
could,
they
like,
play?
Missouri.
Yeah, but
Right.
like I'm sure Missouri has some like linebacker blocking who would literally.
Dude, it doesn't. That's like,
murder.
bro. Like she doesn't have good size to go get fucking lit up on a kickoff. Like,
But
Dude.
it's the thing is, it's not her like being a girl. They didn't want her to get hurt because like the girls' team still had like their soccer season going on. Like if she gets hurt, then their soccer team doesn't have a goalie.
Okay, but then that goes.
that's awful reasoning.
But that goes
then.
back to my point. She shouldn't play then.
Yeah, then
at
if you
all.
can't, like if you can't, like if that's like saying, like you're taking out a part of the game in order
Now,
to.
granted, good thing that Vanderbilt is just so bad at football that it doesn't even matter. But like,
So, yeah, is she the
Let's say
field goal
that-
kicker?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
why,
she would have kicked the PAT if they
yeah,
had
that's
scored.
why everyone was hoping that they scored a touchdown so she could kick in PAT.
What about field goals though?
They probably would have just went for it. Let's be honest. Like, they
I
probably
don't know.
They
What?
probably would have just went for it. Yeah, I think they would have just went for it. They're
Yeah,
in field goal range. They wouldn't.
Why? Like a 30-yard field goal, she can't hit that?
I agree. They probably would have.
I don't think they would want her to even try because if she misses, every fucking dude in there. Oh, this fucking female tried kicking and she misses. So it's like, and it's also like, what if it gets blocked? Like people don't really try blocking extra points. They try blocking field goals though. Like,
So were we impressed by the kick? Yes or no? The squib kick.
But
No.
she was never.
I'll say this.
It's
I'll
to
say
have a-
this.
That's my.
you want-
She was never what?
What the coaches told her to do. She was never in a good position to like have a good kick.
Okay.
What I'll say this.
But she
We
won SEC player special teams player of the week.
That's kind of why. That's
Like, come on, bro. Like
I'll say this. If we want equality,
you don't do that.
No. I'm saying I'm not impressed by her at all.
Yeah, you want equality, then do something to impress me. Like not a fucking.
It's just
squib
like
kick.
it's just like the middle linebacker for Vanderbilt. No, you suck too, bud. Like
Yeah, like I'm not impressed by anybody on that team. So why the fuck would I be impressed by her? Like
it's
we're
not
gonna
because she's
give
a
her some
female.
special
No,
treatment.
they all fucking suck. I mean, have you watched the Vanderbilt game this year?
Vanderbilt doesn't belong in the SEC. Like
No, not at all. But I did think like, okay, look, the squib kick, yeah, whatever. Like you didn't want to get her hurt. Okay, whatever. But the whole, like to give her SEC player of the week, that was the most wild move I've ever seen in my life. Like I saw a tweet today, like, oh, it was like a photoshopped of the New York Jets selecting number 1 overall. And it was
I saw that.
it was like, and it had her like kicker Sarah Fuller. It was like, yo, that's funny.
number 1 overall.
That's funny as fuck. But like, yeah, like it's fucking.
I could see
Vanderbilt. I'm not
the
impressed.
Bears drafting her. That's what I could see.
It wouldn't surprise me.
What would
my
you do
God.
if she was
Wait,
the
did we all
Bears
give her
kicker?
do or dies?
Yeah.
Only you two have.
What's yours?
Wait, how many units did you guys put on yours?
I put 5 on both. I have 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do 5, but yeah, whatever.
You
I'll
might
do
change
5.
it, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna win. I might as well just stay true and stay low. I'm taking Indiana plus 14.5 as my do or die.
Oh yeah, I figured that was yours. That's why I was kind of shocked when you said it.
I'm putting the max 10 unit play on it, and just need to pray Alina loses every single pick to have a chance.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so there it is. We'll see everyone next.
No,
week.
we didn't give our top 4 yet.
Oh, our top 4 playoff rankings?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Let's do like the top 10 or no.
Okay, let's go top 10. That's fine. That's
All
fine.
right,
with
let me
me.
pull it up real quick.
Yep.
No, let's just do top 6, bro. Like, who cares past 6?
10 has a chance to. All right, let's at least top 8. There's a couple teams that can make it top 8.
Okay, top 8. I'll start. 1, Bama. 2, Notre Dame. 3, Clemson. 4, A&M. 5, Ohio State. 6, Florida. 7, Cincinnati. 8, Iowa State.
I was gonna say what?
No. I literally wrote on Georgia being 8. That would have been a while.
Yeah.
But
All right.
Iowa State.
Wait, where'd you have Florida? 6?
6. I have them. Yeah.
Okay. Who did Florida lose to again?
A&M.
Fuck. And then A&M lost to Bama.
Yep.
I have Alabama 1, Notre Dame 2. Like honestly, even though they won at home, like I might like if I was doing like an unbiased like had to give like the best teams like for whatever like to win some money, I might put Clemson above Notre Dame still. Like it'll play itself out this championship. Like it doesn't really fucking matter who you have 2-3. Like Notre Dame, Clemson are 2-3. And I think there's a massive drop off. I'm gonna give Ohio State 4 because they have not lost and they haven't been the reason they haven't played, right? It's been the other team every time.
No, this last weekend it was them.
Oh, against Illinois?
Yeah, Illinois was them.
Yeah, but who fucking cares about Illinois?
If they don't play Michigan State?
Dude, the Big Ten's so bad, like it almost doesn't even matter if they play these
Yeah,
last
but
two
it's
games.
also like when Clemson lost to Syracuse, or we just like a few years ago. Syracuse was horrendous, so it's like you don't.
Yeah,
know.
you got to play the game, I guess. But I just if this was the week they played in, I would. Why the fuck would I want to see A&M play Bama again? No thanks. That's the only way. Or yeah, I guess I don't know. That's what sucks. But then A&M definitely 5, Florida 6. I have BYU at 8 and Cincy at 7. So Cincy 7, BYU 8.
Wait, who do I have at 7?
I think you had Cincinnati. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I did. You're right. I did. Nagy.
So yeah. That's fine.
I would go Bama 1. I'm kind of on the same boat as Alina, but like Notre Dame's defense looks so good, so I'll keep Notre Dame at 2, Clemson 3. Bro, even right now I would probably put Florida at 4. I know they lost to A&M, but
You're a big
can't.
Florida guy.
Bro,
but
you
Florida-
cannot. You cannot.
But Florida's gotten like if you look at their 2 seasons, like if you look at A&M and Florida, like who do you think has gotten better since like who's getting better like each week? I think Florida has made huge steps outside of their loss to A&M, and like between that and like then beating Georgia, like those are some huge strides to make in your season. So I would say Florida. Ooh.
Florida at 4 or 5.
Okay. I would put Ohio State. I guess I would put Ohio State 4 because it doesn't really matter where you put Florida until they beat Alabama.
Right.
So I'll keep Ohio State 4, Florida 5, A&M 6, Cincinnati 7. And I mean, I feel like this one doesn't really matter at all. Fuck it, IU at 8.
You should, yeah, fuck it, dude. These are our rankings. You should do that.
Yeah, IU's only losses to the number 4 team by 7 points. So fuck it.
There you go.
You should have put
I'm
them at
biased,
7.
but
You should put them at 6.
I put A&M at 6, and
No, I said you should have put IU at 6.
I can't be that biased.
But
Sure,
all right,
sure you can.
there it is. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, this weekend is full of upsets. Honestly, because it's a horrible
Switch it up.
slate.
Except for IU and or no, Notre Dame.
The Irish to win.
Yeah.
Yes. Peace.
Peace.